Hiya girls, we are Barney and Luki and we are the hot young visionaries behind Truffle Pig Wigs.
And this is Cliffhangers, the unofficial, unrequested and unhinged RuPaul's Drag Race recap show.
The views and opinions expressed on Cliffhangers are from a couple of women who just love drag and have zero real business judging it. If you are not a fan of red-hot acidic critique, turn back now.
He puts the ick in chicken shit gigs. It's Barney!
Oh, and introducing to the stage, Luki Luck, proving yet again the big girl doesn't win.
I thought it'd be like, big girls do cry.
Come on, LG, show that audience what that mouth do.
So, another week.
Another week. Can I just start with, have you seen that the New York subways are under about 6 foot?
Yes.
Can you believe?
End of days.
Literal end of days. And what? Oh, they're just now giving a lovely sort of dip pool for the rats. Do you know rats can swim underwater? They don't always swim on the surface. They swim underwater. So you might be going through that water. They might just be swimming.
I mean, most definitely.
That is a literal hell. I can't believe a horror film hasn't been done about sort of like a flooded subway. That is absolutely disgusting and
Maybe
terrifying.
that's our next project.
Please. Please.
We've also been to see our friend in a rock opera.
A rock rock. Oh, damn.
A metal musical, I like to call it.
Yeah, I believe it was actually hardcore rather than rock.
A hardcore
Not the hardcore
harangue.
you're usually used to.
Shout out Jessie B.
Shout out Joris, the hell. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Lot of sweaty headbanging from some middle-aged men there. Very into it. Let's catch up.
All right, so last week, the Honeys split up into 3 teams to make TV adverts for their side hustles. Team Medium had the best advert, with HRH TKB becoming the top all-star of the week.
That's what's up.
Meaning she lip-synced against the assassin Laganja, who eventually sent home the Reverend Silky Nutmeg Ganache.
You know how I felt about the Rev going home?
She has not gone home.
Well, that is true. Do you know who the original Rev is?
Rev Run.
Yeah, but also, did you know that Al Green is a reverend? He's Reverend Al Green.
I didn't. And isn't Mace like a pastor or something
They're
now?
all at it. They're all finding Jesus. I suggest you don't.
There's enough. Seems like they've got enough on their plate.
Absolutely. And so we joined them after the elimination as the girls head back into the workroom post-elimination just to talk shop and take a peek at those votes, which reveals that it was actually quite neck and neck, which reveals 4 for Akira and 6 for Dr. Ganache. How did thou feel about that?
It was a bit too close for comfort for my liking for old Akira.
So did you think it was deserved though?
I think she shot herself in the foot by announcing that her and Silky were in the bottom. I don't think she ever thought it would be that close.
Schoolboy.
But it also means that my Herlock Holmes, TM, deduction over Trini's lipstick was wrong, because I thought she had chosen ginger, but apparently she just straight up lied to Silky when she told her, "You're all good, babe."
Yeah, it's the kind of winner's action that we like to see. Can I just say, when it cut back to Scarlett, the breath was taken. I almost forgot. Just forgot how absolutely stunning and gorgeous she was for 1 second. And then it was weird that TKB was like, I can't go up against Laganja. It was like, I mean, you did. I mean, she did, like I said, I thought she really rocked her shit, but she put up a good fight. It was weird to think that she doesn't think she's as good as Laganja, because I didn't think that I thought that was a surprise that she was that good, Laganja.
Yeah, but
I mean?
maybe the gals just know her from being on the scene in real
Yeah.
life. I like that she's coming out of her shell a lot more, Trini, because earlier on I was worried that the other queens weren't going to like her because she was coming across a bit stoosh.
Can I just say, just winding it back to TKB.
That's what I was talking about.
Sorry, winding it back to Lagrange. Kennedy, the dancing doll of Texas, posted a video of like her lip syncing in some like maybe like Battle of the Seasons or something against Laganja, and she was and it was like obviously Kennedy like going in with them hitch kicks, them flips, the like seizure head whipping, and she was like, and I'd kill her again or something. Which is like, look at you inserting yourself
kill
into
him again.
Yeah, just like inserting yourself into drama, because obviously everyone was like, Laganja is the lip sync, and she was like, no. I am the dancing doll.
Well,
of
she's
Texas.
still Bitter Betty from season 3 All Stars, isn't
Don't
she?
take Bitter Betty's name in vain.
Just as you were talking then, I thought,
Our favourite.
will the people know what stoosh means? So I've done we've got some listeners globally hitting every continent we are.
You got
actually.
questions, we got answers.
So I did a mini deep dive just then. So if you don't know, stoosh basically means conceited, superior, having an air of bitchiness. But then the example, which I really am very here for, is don't get stoosh with me. I knew you before you had your lipo. That's on Urban Dictionary as the example to how to use stoosh.
Fantastic.
So yeah,
feels like a personal attack, but
yeah.
Okay. Who said stoosh?
I said that TKB was acting stoosh initially.
Sure.
First few episodes.
And you had nothing but complaints in the DMs.
Well, I just thought, I don't know if our international listeners will understand what I'm talking about.
Of course.
Born and raised in London, you know. We've got street slangs.
I felt like Akira, though, handled it with such grace and resilience. Like after that absolutely terrifying sobbing breakdown, where we really thought, this might be it. She might go home. And Raja as well, speaking to her so respectfully and so nicely. That whole moment, she didn't seem... I'm sure it stung like a red hot dagger, but she just seemed like she took it really well as well, being like, okay, I thought no one was going to vote for me, but here is 4 votes in front of me. Yep. Okay. And
Do you think she was calling the bluff then when she was like, hey, me and Silky are in the bottom, but y'all are going to vote for Silky, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny.
I think it's still too soon for Scarlett to be making climate change jokes.
That is so funny.
The sea was on fire the other day, Scarlett.
I nearly wrote that, and then I thought, she'll bring it up. I know. She is the original. Luki is the original mother.
Thanks a lot, you idiot.
Mother Nature. Mother. Jan saying, and I quote, she is a fierce fucking bitch who is now going to unleash all the wrath. Now, I've never listened to a power bottom in lilac dungarees before, and I definitely will not start now, Luki.
You're not a genetic, are you?
I'm not. And you know how I feel about grown men in dungas? Why you dress like an extra from the Sesame Street? Dungarees on a fully grown man?
I mean, I believe they're back in fashion as the 90s, 2000 trend is still kicking about with the youths.
No, not.
Refuse to believe.
Not on this good... I was going to say good green aisle. Please remember that we hate England.
We really
Deep
hate
in the football.
Forza Italia.
We are not patriotic in any single way, and we have nothing to be proud of.
It really seems like they're setting Jan up for a loss here, but at the same time, they're bloody tricksters, and I think that they know that we think we know their production games, so they're like, oh, you think if we're highlighting someone bigging up themselves and they're going to go home? No, they're just constantly trying to fuck with our minds.
No, I knew from this point that I was like, I'll talk about it later because there was another real moment of it, but it's so exhausted and transparent at this point, just the production. It's if you're highlighted more than twice in the beginning, you're either going home or you're winning. There's no in between. But
I thought it was going home.
Did you?
It was so confident that normally they don't allow that kind of happiness.
No, but then it was when they were talking later, but we'll get into that I was
BRB.
I guess then we have a new day in the workroom.
Yeah. Oh, lovely old Trini leads the gals in, conducting them to this little light of mine. I mean, it was a cute moment, I guess, but I really don't like to mix my drag with my Jesus.
With your Jesus? That's
Yes.
confusing. I think that TKB thinks that she's given a little taste, that sort of wacky elevated streetwear look.
Well, I liked it. She's really giving us variety from Midnight Cowboy last week to Club Raver this week.
Was she Midnight Cowboy? That was actually Ross. No, Carson, the other gay.
He was in a cowboy. He?
Oh, he
Trinity
was.
K. Bonet was in a
Yes.
Western jacket.
I know. Don't even need to ask you that you loved Kylie in that Emma Bruin style fur hat.
I don't know who she is, but yeah, I love a big furry hat.
Sick.
Very into that. And I was just creasing myself off the sofa at Jan's little stank face when she was talking about bringing the funk. I thought,
And then
I'll believe that when I see it.
And
Janet.
then she paired it with a little Rydell High hip rock. I was like, what are you doing? Bring the funk. It is not going to be brought in.
Well, she's threatening it, so I'd like to see it.
Yeah. But then we see Lady Rusical, and she reveals that the main challenge, which I was super hyped about, was the All-Stars halftime show, where the Queens will get to perform as a legendary halftime show artist, including the likes of Britney, Janet Jackson,
Tell 'em.
No Doubt,
There's more.
Gloria Estefan,
So many.
or everyone's favourite halftime performer, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
That's my favourite.
Were you aware?
Yeah.
You're aware of his work?
Yeah, sure. No,
Really?
No, of course not.
Oh.
Some of those, I had a look at the list, and the early 20 years was just what?
Yeah.
It's like we're going to have the cast of like a TV show.
Hairspray.
Yeah.
It's so interesting though, isn't it? Like the evolution of it. Because when I was looking at it, just like it first started, it was just like, we have got like a local Amdram circuit. Like they are going to be singing songs from the hit, like songs from Annie.
Calamity Jane.
Yeah. And then it was like, oh, now we've got like marching bands and stuff. And then it was like, oh, we've got our first semi-famous singer. And it's like someone that you've like never heard of. It's like, and then it started to build. And then for like 10 years, they did like medleys, didn't they? So it was like,
the Boys to Men and like the stars of R&B pop.
Yeah, and then there was like, then there was the country one, and it had like...
That's what Ginger should have stuck to, I think. One of them country gals.
One of the country gals.
Reba or Rena.
No.
Winona Judd.
Yeah.
There were some names
who's
in
the
there.
other one that they all love? Definitely Winona Judd, because she's been a judge before, hasn't she?
Winona Judge, yeah.
Winona Judge. There was another real like country gal that they were that they've had, but they always use as a joke. Anyway, very boring. But firstly, the real question: who would you want to be?
Either Shania or Janet.
Shania. Now,
But I didn't care for her. I didn't care for her outfit too much when I saw it.
Okay.
I'd like to be the leopard print fantasy, but so probably Janet. But then is it disrespectful now?
Well, I was going to say, as a platinum level member of the Rhythm Nation, I would also want to be Janet, but I don't know how. I don't know how well that would go down. So realistically, Britney. Bitch. Like, imagine. I know, obviously, like Derek is famous in some parts for doing Britney, but Derek can't really dance. So I feel like it'd be fine if you're like, okay, I'm not. Maybe I don't look as much like Britney as Derek does, but this is a lip syncing dance challenge, so it wouldn't really matter. Would you stay away from doing Cher just because of Lady Dust, Chad Michaels, All Stars? I love that his IG name is Chad Michaels All Stars. Okay.
Let them hoes remember.
Exactly. So you would be... I'd like to see you do a Shania, but again, that sounds like a Fergie choice to me. What would you be giving for Shania?
Well, that's what I mean. Her outfit wasn't very good, and it's annoying that you have to wear the outfits that they're wearing.
But it's not an outfit challenge. It's a lip sync challenge. It's
that's for Jamal to come up with, isn't it? It's not my problem.
But like performing, like what would Shania be giving? Like
that's Jamal's
I suppose a bit
problem.
like maybe a bit of like cowboy tees.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
I was very excited when we find out it's all RuPaul songs because I'm very partial to a RuPaul.
I am not. So I was like, oh, another way for them to revitalise these tired-ass songs. Okay, sure.
Although really not letting the old classics shine. Where's Glamour Song? Where's Jealous of My Boogie?
I guess they just had to like look at the songs and be like, okay, what song can we make sound like
I want to emulate the BPM.
What song can we remotely make it sound like a Beyonce song? But I really thought they did a fantastic fucking job with taking the like iconic sort of musicality of these people. I would have known blindfolded who every single person was.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Okay.
And can we just do a shout out to Carl Nassib, who is the first open gay American football player?
Yeah, please do. Absolutely shout them out.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, Carl. Thanks for listening.
So wait, so you said you'd be Britney, right?
100%. Just because if, you know how methodically and psychopathically I'd go into every single challenge, I'd be like, this is essentially a lip syncing, but a dancing challenge. And there's no one really that's done the Super Bowl, maybe a bit of Shakira, that is like, you're going to have like real fantastic costumes. Like they're all pretty much like performer dancer costumes. So there's nothing that's going to be like that you're going to be able to save it with an incredible costume.
Well, it's not your choice. You're wearing what they wear on the day. Sure.
But I think that I would be like, right, there need to be a dancer and someone that has like a really iconic either style of performance or style of choreography. Britney.
So whose choices were you most excited to see come through?
I was literally salivating at the thought of TKB getting her fucking life as Beyonce after Bianca so rudely tore her down.
She is obsessed for coming for all these tough gigs. It's like, yes, I'll do comedy on the All-Star, what's it called? The talent show. Yes, I'm going to try and do Beyonce, although it's basically a curse to do Beyonce on Drag Race.
Yeah.
I was most excited by Akira and Kylie's choices. And annoyingly, they're both men, because normally I don't like it when people do the men's.
Prince. Question mark.
Pan Angel.
Yeah.
So, and Steven Tyler's just everyone's mum, so.
The level that Drag Race is that the queens are pushing to now, that you've got a trans woman that is allowed on that is now going back and drag kinging, like, yes, into it. Because you can't argue that both Akira and Kylie performed absolutely incredibly. So it's like, there's really no argument for letting drag kings in it. Like, just let the fucking drag kings in.
The bloody drag queens in.
Exactly.
On the flip side to how fantastic TKB's choice was, how shit is it that Pandora's just like, I'm going to rely on that one thing some people found funny 11 seasons ago.
Can I point something else out as well?
Please.
Carol Channing performed 50 years ago in 1972. The same year that Pandora was born. Michael Steck, I'm looking at you, that's Pandora's real boy name, was born that year. It's not even like, oh, do you know what? It's like, I grew up with the Diana Ross or someone. It's like, you weren't even born when they were performing. This is their heyday. And she didn't even win on the Snatch Game. Tatiana did with Britney. So it's like, this is like Jan levels of self-referential. Like, oh my God, when I did Carol Channing, and like, it's like, it wasn't even that good. And you're doing it again later on. And we are just consecutively seeing dated choices from an older queen. And it's just,
seems like
the maths ain't nothing.
Cowardy.
And also as well, like, she's not a performer. She is a comedian. Am I correct?
I don't know who she is really,
Carol
apart
Channing.
from when Pandora shows us who she is.
Yeah, so it's not even like, oh, do you know what, like, you know, if you're like, oh, I'm going to do Ethel Merman because I want to do the water. Do you know what I mean? Like an old choice that's like, oh, but it's so iconic. She's not even a fucking singer or dancer. So, mental.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
Why did Ginger Minj choose Fergie?
I literally...
It's blowing my teeny tiny mind.
Do you know what's fucking insane is that the most famous thing that Fergie ever did was sing Star Spangled Banner.
And piss herself.
Hopefully next time we'll get it at the same time. But that's the most famous thing that she ever did. That wasn't the Super Bowl, but like to not include that in some... it blew my mind. Shouldn't look like her. She's got no like iconic performance style or voice or...
Fergie always has like flat hair.
Yeah.
Just like down. Why are you giving some
nuts.
like page wig?
I just was most excited as well for Kylie's Steven Tyler, because how can one so beautiful even go near that?
Steven Tyler is a woman, though.
Yeah, but like,
and if you
one of
haven't
the most
seen,
terrifying
if you haven't Googled his feet, please Google his feet now.
Oh my God, please take a second. The most terrifying finger toes you've ever seen in your life. I thought it was really apparent now that how exhausting the editing of Jan was in this episode, because I remember she was like, if you don't remember, I didn't win that challenge. So it's like, so first of all, you're saying like, it wasn't even that memorable about the Madonna thing. She's like, oh my God, Madonna. It's like, oh my God, I didn't win that challenge. It was so traumatic. I've got PTSD. But it's like, I don't even think of her when I think of the Madonna challenge. I think of, who do you think of? Gigi, Jada, Widow. Like, they're the people that stick out. Like, she wasn't even that good in the challenge. And now she's like, oh my God, Madonna. Oh my God, PTSD. I didn't win that singing challenge and I should have won. It's like, you're really trying to excavate storylines there.
I feel like she's trying to ham it up to make it seem like she's not that bothered, but that just makes it seem more bothered.
Very. And you can feel the like production cogs turning, I think, in this point. And then RuPaul enters the workroom. Did you clock Akira's navy tasseled bolero?
No.
Where the fuck is she getting these clothes from? Le Vêtement, honey. Like, honestly, absolute wild choices for the workroom. And you also saw as well, like, that real shitty, unfunny comment from Bianca has had like a real life impact. Do you know what I mean? It's like she was really second guessing herself, even though she's like, she's my queen, she's my ultimate person, and I can paint like her, I can look gorgeous, but it's like Bianca's just like stupid cattiness.
It's just a throwaway comment as well, though. She didn't mean it. She was just like, no, it was Bianca.
Yeah, but I know, but that was like a full moment that she was like, you can't do Beyonce. Like, you can't paint like Beyonce. You can't be Beyonce on. She was like really like fucking like.
No, I think that was just like sort of regular level of Bianca just
that's what
being
I mean.
annoying.
Bianca's a cunt.
Well, I like her.
You do, don't you? But and I do like her sometimes, but just like it's like things like that just like she really came for TKB for no reason, saying like you will never do this, and it's like, oh, I did it on All Stars, and actually I was like, I should have won. It was like fantastic. Spoiler. I don't know.
I don't think that Bianca will be like, oh no, you got me, gal. Like she was like, she was always there, just trying to be that evil stepmother, just trying to give you.
Well, on Twitter,
hate love.
On Twitter, she posted a lovely little meme that was like, "You'll never be Beyonce," and then the screen print of TKB going, "Oh, I will," and then a picture of her as Beyonce.
Yeah,
she was like, "You've proved me wrong." So
yeah,
at least.
I liked it when TKB was like, the Beyoncés have been beyond not. Truly. But now she's broken the curse.
Very that.
So going into rehearsals of Jamal, who I love.
You do, don't you?
I love all the choreographers, actually, apart from the British ones. I love...
what? That guy from Strictly and the gay one from Love Island. Look at me outing people on the pod.
He's gay.
Sorry, Curtis, if you're listening to this. You know who you fucked.
Again, just straight up, why did Ginger choose Fergie at the choreo?
It's
Putting
an
that urban
impossible
stank
task.
on it.
And also as well, like, did she not learn from Naomi's mistake? Like, stop frotting in rehearsal. Just like every time she said, "Oh, Jamal is such a big, sexy man." It's like, you need to concentrate because this is going to be shit.
Well, I mean, anything to get her through because it's not going to be good, isn't it?
Can I tell you what absolutely cracks me up? And it reads so badly on camera. It's just these stans who want to like have such like a purist take of their divas. So they're like, "Oh no, actually, I'm sorry. Can I stop you, Jamal? Like, she doesn't actually two-step because she had early scoliosis, so she like doesn't have it. She doesn't have the two-step, you know. So like, can we do something? Just like they like let Jamal. He's probably worked with every single one of these people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it was like when Jan was like, "Oh yeah, she does.
She's ish quirky, actually.
Yeah, she does do that. Yeah. It's like, okay, we get it. Like, you've heard of Lady Gaga. Congratulations."
And when Yara was like basically trying to change the choreo, like, oh no, she wouldn't do that. Have you tried this? But actually,
shut up and jig, lady. Like, what are you doing? Like,
it's very me in rehearsals. Like, surely this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 could just be like a 1 and pose.
yeah. But I even though you consecutively do that with me, I'm pretty confident that you wouldn't do that with Jamal Sims.
No, I would not do that with
I think
JS.
there's a level of respect that you have for Jamal's choreography that you probably don't have for mine, honey.
I love how TKB starts most sentences with shit.
Could I say, when she came in on that day drinking low boot, I thought, punch the clock, Mary, because that lady is here to work. That low boot, I thought she knows what she's doing. She and she has such like a gorgeous like fluid quality. She's a star. I will not say it again. She is a star, just like the way that she dances.
I can really relate to how she felt about that Beyonce halftime show, because I even now remember I was on my sofa at my old house, and when Kelly and Michelle popped up, I had to actually pause it because I was like losing my mind too much. I had to like go and like take 5, like smoke a fag in the garden and come back for the second
half. Do you remember little Michelle popping up on that little church heel? She was like, she was going to fall over. Honestly, not that we're poor Michelle in this studio, obviously, like all 3 of them. Absolute angels. I forgot that Yara is a Piranha girl. I don't think of her as like a Vegas girl. I mean, it all makes sense now, but I would actually love to see her. I feel like she would put on a...
When you think of her, she's still in PR, just living it up.
Not even PR, but for some reason I thought she was an LA girl. She just like doesn't strike me as being in with the Derricks and the Morgan.
But actually think about where else...
Morgan, what's India Ferrer and them people like?
Where else would she fit in if not the wacky world of Las Vegas, Nevada?
I can imagine her as a New York queen, just because she's so show. I can imagine her like being
she's
a Manhattan
too,
queen.
like, I don't know, whatever. Pointless. Literally pointless, assuming where she might be from when we know where she's from.
Yeah, but she's a Piranha girl, so I would love it next time we go to Vegas.
I'm a Piranha girl.
I'd love to go to Vegas and see her, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dolls re-enter the workroom on Elimination Day to put some final touches to their looks. And more powerhouse vocals from Raja. She bring it to every ball.
Every ball. Yeah, like so groundbreaking for Drag Race that Kylie is going to be drag kinging today.
Yeah,
very
fantastic.
exciting, very into it.
Fantastic.
I bet Rue didn't really plan for that, and she's fucking digging her nails into her hands under the table. Like, what is this? Am I a boule?
I love to see the girls doing like illusory makeup. Illusory? Does that sound right?
Illusional.
Like illusion makeup. Except Jan, who clearly was just like, no, let me just do the same.
Except Scarlett.
I mean, but
Are you painting for like a weird ballet where you're playing like a...
But I liked it because
character?
what I liked about it is that Katy Perry is known for having bobbly eyes. Bobbly eyes? Goggly eyes. Like,
Googly?
do you know what I mean? Like, she's got really circular, like, and she's always like staring. And so I felt like she was painting her like starey eyes, which kind of made me laugh. Because also as well, Katy Perry, tough choice.
Gave me the heebie-jeebies, TBH.
Tough choice. And I just love can I tell you what I love?
All the gals jotting
All the
around
baby,
together.
All the baby, she's laughing and joking. After that cut, we were scared about the cold shoulder with TKB, and I can't see it. Cannot watch it.
Especially as she said as well that like she wasn't really thinking about friends the first time, and now she just like she really wants to make friends, so she's got like a bit of emotional support.
Do you think you would be so laser focused on the competition that you would find it hard to relax enough to make friends?
I don't think I've ever been laser focused on anything. I think I would just be like knocking about.
Yeah,
catching
as someone that
jokes.
works with you at three separate businesses, I can see that for you.
She's a casual Carmine.
Real clown of the workroom. Yeah, and I was absolutely screaming when Akira was like, you want to be trade so bad, but I don't give it to you. I don't give it to you.
You know who will? Riki.
Eureka giving the answer to questions that no one asked. Like, literally just coming in and being
Isn't
like,
that the whole point of Eureka?
I think you're the trade. It's like, the girls are talking. Let them talk. Clearly someone that was brought up without shame.
Sure. I've had an epiphany.
Tell us. Is it a Eureka moment?
It is.
Yeah.
I like her now.
I do like her. I've always liked her.
It's not about you. It's about my moment. I like her now. Thank you.
Okay.
I found her trifling and tedious before, but
then she broke that knee and she really humbled herself.
no, because this following season I still didn't care for her very much. But now I can fucks with her.
I do. I always like her. It's just in this specific instance, it's like, you don't know what trade is, and they've already told you. She is not trade. There's no one in this room that is trade. And we're saying, we're the girls are having a joke about, like, you will never be trade. And then Eureka comes over and she's like, I think she's trade. It's like, we've already told you she is not trade. Listen to us.
I thought she was just like getting in on the joke.
Yeah, but it ain't your joke, honey. But
And on that note, we'll BRB after a quick break.
Because the only jokes here are us. See ya.
Oh, sorry to bother you. You look like a cool young lesbian in her prime. Would you be looking for something to do on Friday the 16th of July by any chance?
Thank you for noticing, but actually no, I would not be, because I will be heading down to Knickers Off at Dawson Superstore, which is the new sexy fashion extravaganza brought to you by Dykes on the Scene, Georgie B and Gia Jenkins. That's right, wear your finest attire and be prepared to leave it all on the floor, because accessories, they're essential. We've got DJs from Gin, Fancy Shoes, Gia Jenkins, Elliot, Miss G. And don't you worry, there's going to be go-go dancers. So if you're a young, sexy, upwardly mobile lesbian, then I guess I'll see you there.
Cauliflower actually.
And please welcome to the stage. She's come straight from Rome, Signora Sara Toni Deficiency.
Lovely.
Woo!
And presenting back to the stage is Miss Thickless Cage. That
If
drum
you're
roll sounds
nasty.
like guns. Kind of terrifying, actually.
Rue's dress was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, highs and lows,
Yeah.
legs for days.
Can we talk about Jamal motherfucking Sims in a fuchsia damask velvet waistcoat?
We can. What would you like to say about
I
it?
was going to say, sir, damn.
He puts the damn in Damascus.
It was literally just, it was mental. It looks like sort of like a very old barman from like Shadow Lounge or something, just like an Essex like gay bar.
I was going to say it's like a towery wallpaper.
Yeah, just like...
I wasn't into it.
I mean, it's not something to be into. It's like soft sculpture. It's just to be admired.
Sure.
you know?
I liked Michelle's look, super cute. Looked like she was working reception at Ghostbusters HQ.
Sure. First shout out is to Christina Bianco, who does the majority of these voices in these. She's done your Kardashians, she's done your Madonnas, she just does basically all of this voice work, and she is absolutely incredible.
So good.
So insane, yeah. And just love to see her getting brought back all this time. Although maybe they should be making the Queens do the impressions. As a lovely
We want a good episode.
A lovely live act. What about the production value on this halftime show?
So good. Especially
good.
at the very end as well. That went off.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. But I guess it's kind of time to get into the nitty gritty of the individuals.
Did you truffleize the performances as well as the runways?
I didn't, but I can.
Okay, all right. It's not a competition.
Not a close one.
Yeah, exactly. Ginger, Fergie. Why did Ginger choose Fergie?
It's a miss for me, dog.
The only note I have is not even about her. It's like, oh, they're cute. All the little like accessories they give to the dancers to theme them per person. Like the Prince one had like pearls. Yeah, very
what a
cute.
poor opener, though. But I
Yeah.
suppose there was really no safe place for her to go. It was just wet.
Yeah, it was just weird. Just such a weird choice for her.
Yeah, and just especially
And
because
generally as well, she's not that iconic. Like Jamal even said, she doesn't have like an iconic like presence or like signature move. So it's just, you just have to be given kind of white girl does hip hop, which you were not.
But then part of me thinks that, like, with Ginger, she's like, I've been here so many times. Like, I don't really feel like a fight from her. She seems like she's just there to have fun.
Just trucking.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It was just very whatever to me. I'd give it like 4.
I gave it 6.
What?
But
for what? The
I
look?
don't know.
The performance?
Well, the look's not her choice, apart from the hair.
But like, even the hair was wrong and bad.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Lower. Yeah, it was a complete miss for me. Thoughts on Madonna? Eureeks.
She looked cute, but apart from the gap in the tooth, I wasn't getting any Madonna vibes off her whatsoever.
Well, I was
even in the vocal, actually, I didn't.
I was
think
thinking
it was too...
Super Bowl Madonna doesn't. I mean, a singer Madonna ain't, so that's hard. But like, at least they did do a very good like speech. That's I can't remember what she said, but something like, she had like a really like weird plummy Madonna's voice, which I thought was good. But Super Bowl Madge doesn't really give you anything anyway.
I've not seen the performance, so I don't know.
Wow, yeah, it's not something you'd love, I don't think. But that was like a 6.
I gave it 6.5.
Yeah. What about Mazraja as Diana?
So girlish and dreamy.
Spot on illusion as well, I thought. Like, she doesn't look anything like her, really, like, normally in drag, but I just thought she doesn't, like, there was just something about it that instantly, even, like, if you'd just shown me the face, I would have been like, that's Diana Ross. I don't know why.
Oh, not the hair. Obviously, that's
the hair obviously was, like, yeah, very, very iconic, but, like...
I thought she still looked like Raja, but the
gorgeous.
energy was giving me cute.
Yeah.
I gave 8 truffles.
Yeah, I'd go 8 for that. I thought that was really, really fantastic, actually. Yara Sofia as Shakira.
So this is the first point when I was like...
Colombian superstar.
Excuse me, lady on the vocals. Like, that is Shakira right now.
Fantastic.
So fucking sick. So that was the main thing I enjoyed of the performance.
It was good. I like the beat.
Yeah, like, if there's one thing from my Burley days that I know, you gotta give them face. That's like, if you're not giving face on stage, then like you're not giving anything.
No, lacked energy. It lacked fun. It lacked what looked like any sort of enjoyment from Yara.
When I've seen Shakira live, the one time I saw Shakira live,
that's one time more than me.
She was 50% the sexiest thing I'd ever seen in my life, and 50% the cutest little angel baby in the world. And Yara was giving me none of that. Like, she's so smiley and happy.
She's
and
the face
fun.
of what? Colgate or the like? She's a toothpaste girl.
Yeah, she was. Yara weren't giving me shit, so I gave her 5 truffles.
Yeah, 5. I'll go for that. It's
So you would give Yara more truffles than Ginger?
Yeah, because into Ginger's, like, Shakira was a great choice for Yara. She didn't perform well, and there was something off, but like everything about Ginger's was bad. It was a terrible choice, and she chose it, and the look was bad, and the performance was bad.
You can't blame her the look.
I can, because she chose the hair, for example.
Okay, well,
like,
the hair then. Say the wig's
hair.
bad.
Which also they make their look. They chose who it was before. So like when they said to Eureka, they were like, congratulate, you did a great look. So they bring their own look for the
I think she just meant like the big giant hair and like the gap tooth. There's no way that they've...
Why not?
I don't know, but I just don't think so.
I think the way that they spoke, and there was something else that led me to believe that as well, that they made their own looks for... Yeah, 100%, because Akira, with the arse cutouts for Prince, would he expose his buttocks on stage? That was an Akira.
You obviously haven't watched the Leslie Jordan stand-up where she talks about Prince's bare buttocks.
Does he have cutouts like that?
Yeah.
That is mental. I need to see it immediately.
Well, actually, in this, she was talking about him being in the club. But yeah, he was always butt out.
Really? I didn't know he was a butt queen.
He's everything
I imagine
queen.
him quite like Slender Man. And I mean, he is just the queen. But I do think they did their own costumes, because I think some of the costume choices were indicative of the taste level that they bring. Like, I think there's absolutely that costume for Carol Channing was made by Pandora, 100%.
I wish we could have some way of knowing this.
Message the girls.
Maybe wait for Race Chaser to come out and see what they say.
But yeah, I thought that Ginger's overall choices about everything were bad. And at least Yara, she had that body out.
Scarlet Envy as Katy Perry.
Oh, it was a tough choice. She doesn't really have much of a performance style, and because she doesn't really dance and she doesn't really perform, and I don't know, it was just a tough choice. I don't know why she would have gone for her, but it was very inoffensive to me.
Definitely, I thought it was fun. I liked the beat.
I was glad she took the shark off.
It was safe. It was a safe performance, wasn't it?
But the makeup was manic, and it put me off. I gave it 6.5 truffles. I didn't really care for it at all.
I'd give it 7. I'm not down with the 0.5s. Can we talk?
Please.
Kylie Sonique Love as a sensual, sexually confusing experience with the finger. Do you know she kept on doing the Steven Tyler finger? The whole time I was like, What is stirring inside me? So deep.
Just scream.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
Deep guttural screams. Just
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic.
And like the song they gave her was, I feel like, really a difficult one. I feel like it was If I Dream, and that in the Aerosmith is like a bit wild, but I felt like she just knew what he is like.
Yeah.
And just was doing him down.
Yeah, I just thought it was absolutely fucking fantastic. I loved it.
9 truffles for Luke's.
Yeah, I'd give 9 as well. Okay, let's talk about Jan as Lady Gaga. Can I first point out who, I think it was Christina again that did the Gaga voice. Fucking spotless. Everything about it. The vocal qualities that changed. It was just absolutely the best impression I've ever heard of Gaga.
I hope this woman is a millionaire.
I hope so. Thoughts on Jan?
Well, the first time, I think I went in with a slight prejudice because, yeah, I just find Jan a bit annoying. But watching it a second time, like, the Gaga-ness was undeniable. Like,
Really?
I thought so. I felt like if I was like blurring my eyes, I could believe that was Lady Gaga's like movements and stuff. So I gave it 7 truffles.
This performance highlighted it more than ever to me that what I don't really care for with Jan is that I don't ever feel, and maybe this is because she feels her stakes are so high in this competition, when I watch her I don't ever feel like she's enjoying herself. There's so much, like, it seems like she needs it so much, and I thought that with the Gaga.
Well, remember she said that I'm going to have to do something real crazy to get the Gaga because I felt like she was like going like 100 million% intensity.
But say like someone like, I'm trying to think of someone, like Scarlett, for example. She wasn't that good. The choices weren't that great. But when you watched her, the thing that saved it for me is like she looks like she's having fun. I don't ever really feel that with Jan. I feel like she's like, I've got so much to prove. I'm here. I'm a fan. And also her talking so much shit in her interviews about like, I'm a fantastic lip syncer. I'm an incredible singer. I'm an incredible dancer. I've got this. I'm going to give it to them. It's just like, there's the pressure that she puts on herself ruins it for me because I can feel it in the performance. And I really didn't think that they were going to love the Gaga at all. I was like, it was I loved the voice of it, but I didn't think it was great.
I can't believe they didn't give her a little crash pad moment.
Yeah, 100%. She should have flown in on wires. But then maybe I just don't know Gaga that well. I don't know. Maybe it was absolutely spot on, but who knows? Let's talk Akira.
You haven't said your truffles.
6. Let's talk Akira as Prince.
Again, a great fucking vocal.
Can you just let 100%, fantastic. But can you let the listeners of the pod just give him a little 1-2 about what Prince means to you?
He means a lot. Well, as soon as I found out that he had died, I immediately broke down and had to like call everyone I know, and then immediately got my Prince memorial tattoo done on the arm.
So she's a sort of lukewarm fan.
Yeah.
Lukewarm.
Yeah, I think the main thing that let her down was just that like fancy dress looking suit.
That motherfucker.
Well, I say that. I mean, the main thing that let her down was she just didn't have any of that
stank. That
just sort of like confident sexiness that like he'll just do like a little look to camera, a little like side eye, and it's just like, oh my God, like help me, I've fallen and I can't get up. But
I really thought it was that Nikita Backstreet BBL that was thrown off the silhouette for me. Like that. She is such a curvaceous young woman that it was like really hard to she looked so draggy. Do you know what I mean? Like her body in and out of drag is such a drag body. And I thought that she'd like gone a bit heavy on the makeup and then that sort of like wig with what looked like a head wrap rather than...
But then that's how he did have quite a feminine looking... It was like a washerwoman rather than like a do-rag.
Yeah, 100%. Fantasy. But it was more to do with like the cheap material of it. You know, it was sort of like in like a weird sort of like very thin stretch faux velvet. I don't know. It all seemed a bit off. I'm not even like a Prince purist like you, but it just, everything seemed a bit off. But I did actually really like it. I don't know. I can't really explain.
Yeah, I love Akira. I love Prince. Yeah. I was really excited for it. I enjoyed it. But yeah, watching it the second time, I could see it more for what it was rather than just like, oh, yay, Prince.
Well, it just got me because not only has she got her shaped like a Coke bottle, but also like she was tucked. And I was like, Prince is a man. Like,
he's packing heat.
I was going to say, you could like, I would throw in like, if she doesn't want to be showing off her own junk, you could at least put a packer in. Do you know what I mean? Like, you are drag king, like to tuck as Prince. If he's going to have his buttocks, I don't know. It just, the whole thing felt Prince to me gives pan NB vibes down. So like, and it all felt like he was Kira was dressing up as a woman.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
I gave 6.5 truffles.
I'm going to go 6 because I just liked, do you know what my favourite thing about it was? Just like the vibe of it.
Yeah.
Not particularly her, like the vibes. But yeah. And
just vibes.
I'm glad you cleared up about the exposed butt because that was my other thing. I was like,
I don't know if he did it at that performance, but I know like he's been
butt out
on stage.
I just thought, like, to me, that was going to make me mark it down because I was like, that seems like an Akira choice. She's like, well, I'm arse almighty, so let me give them butt. But it's like, would you be doing that for Steven Tyler?
I mean, he'd probably get it out as well.
Probably full fucking dick.
Pandora Box. Carol Channing. I thought she looks like
Can
Glenn
you hit
Close.
a sound effect? Because I need something for this. Like, what's a low point?
Hang on. Very Glenn Close in 101 Dalmatians, face and hairily, obviously apart from the black. I'm not
even gonna let you have that moment. I'm sorry.
I know you talked over me, so I said it again. But
I don't want you to ever say it again. Cruella de Vil is the icon. The face, the body. You know, she was like so severely corseted when she was filming that they had to have rooms where they'd like set up a room that she could just go like lean because she couldn't sit down because she was so heavily corseted. Yeah. So she had like a sort of like leaning booth.
I want a lean-in booth. I can't bother to stand.
Yeah, and she was so heavily corseted as well that she apparently had her body is scarred from it. Like, that's that bitch. Gorgeous. Pandora Box. No. The thing that bothers me about it is it was a real, like, the Super Bowl in its notoriety is because of the last 20 years. Do you know what I mean? Like, as we said with the timeline, like, it wasn't given, like, even 30 years ago. Like, it's really got into, like, superstardom in the past, like, 20 years or so, yeah?
Sure.
And so it was a total miss to a chance to make herself current. Like, all we've seen is period looks, period references,
period stains.
Everything is so dated, and she could have still done like a stylized choice. She didn't have to be up there like bucking and stuff. Like, she didn't have to do like Beyonce, but she could have done something. Imagine Pandora as Beyonce. That's just a little treat for you to think about. But yeah, like, she could have done something that could have like brought her into the 21st century.
I think she's scared of that though, because she knows she doesn't look like a spring chicken. So I feel like if I stick in the classics where
but she needs to be Katy Perry. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are older people that she could have done, but like, she picked someone from 50 years ago. That, like, I don't know. It's just, and obviously we've said she's done it before.
But having said that, like, I don't know anything about Carol Channing apart from what Pandy's shown us, but like, for the song and the look, I felt like her performance tied them together. So I gave her a 7, weirdly.
Don't get me wrong.
Good job of hamming it up to like the wacky song.
She's a good performer, and she clearly knows Carol Channing. Is that the name? That sounded weird. Carol Channing.
Carol.
Carol Channing Tatum. She clearly knows them, and it was good. Like, the whole thing was polished. It was fine. The look was good, but I just think she has not given you anything that is even close to semi-final. Do you know what I mean? Like, if she stays on this trajectory of just like dated, she's not showing you anything that's remotely new or revitalized.
No, she's filler queen.
Yeah. So that was just whatever. Right. Now, most important.
How many truffles did you give? Who cares?
5. 5. But most importantly, let's talk about TKB as Beyonce.
Again, these fucking singers.
Absolutely incredible.
These are my 3 moments. Can't remember the first one, but then Prince and then Beyonce. Oh, Shakira, Prince and Beyonce. I was just like, sorry. Stars in your eyes. Can you bring it back so this girl can win?
And also the fact that they made the track sound so much like, I guess it was like sort of like an end of time vibe.
Yeah.
Just like the drums and everything. It was just like, it was fucking
and the
bang
lights.
on. And even like, yeah, like the sort of like stage setup and the production of it was like straight out of like the Miss Carter show or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it was so sick. I was literally like screaming as I was watching it.
Same.
And also she looked, I'm looking at you, Miss Bianca. She looked so beautiful. Turns out you can paint like Beyonce. She actually looked like Beyonce, which is not a parallel that I would have drawn. Like, from far away, it was... Oh, and you know you're going up against Miss Chalet, House of Saint Laurent, when you're doing a Beyonce Elysian. And just such stillness and grace and...
This the majestic power.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, loved it. Screaming.
And real minimal move. Like she wasn't like going ham as she sometimes does in her performances. Like she was just giving you that. Like it was so Beyonce.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I gave it 9.5 truffles.
I would have given it a 10.
You
I
would
thought it
have.
was- yeah.
What are you gonna?
I'll give it a 10. I'll give it a 10.
Excusey.
That's a 10.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's
First
a
10 for a while.
Yeah. But it was just for me. That was like unequivocal. That's the winner. That is you are looking at your winner.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Of course, RuPaul did not, but
Fuck
onwards
that
and upwards.
bitch. Fuck that bitch. And then we take it into the runway, which is for this. They are giving
The frill of it all.
the frill of it all. Could you see that I couldn't remember then what it was? I was
Yes.
like, the something to do with first?
Land before time.
The frill of it all. And first up, we have...
Hang on. What would you have done?
Frills is one that I would probably have to sit with for a while because it doesn't initially bring up a lot of inspiration for me. But I think I would either do there's an old, I think it's Moschino, where they do tiered sort of frills for there's a sort of crop top that's loads and loads of sort of tiered lilac frills and then a long skirt. That's sort of a very A-line down to the floor frills, which I thought of immediately. Or I might do sort of a lovely, gorgeous dancing emoji, sort of red lace, sort of salsa dress.
Interesting.
But appropriate TiVo? Question mark.
Well, my first thought was
Tell us.
a lovely black and red layered flamenco
Sure.
fantasy with sort of shorter at the front with a big frilly layered train, but also appropriation.
Yeah.
We need an appropriation jingle sound, yeah. But also, come on, I'm half Italian. That's got to count for something. They're close, right?
No!
They share a border, no?
But actually saying that, it's not flamenco. From what I know, maybe this is absolutely incorrect because it was popularised. I don't know if it was created in Andalusia. So it is Spain. So it is it is an European. So it is Spanish. So that is not appropriation of a different culture.
But
it's appropriation of.
It's their Spanish culture.
yeah, but it's not an appropriation of different race, which is much more problematic.
Sure.
So
then my fallback one would be, I guess, after I thought of it, kind of like Bimini's Panto, just extreme, gross baby doll.
Or I was going to say cheap frills.
Yeah,
and
pills and frills.
Yeah, do real gross. But again, just not that inspirational to me, so I really have to sit and think about it. And I think my sounding board would always be, if I was on Drag Race, I would come to you and be like, I was thinking this. If you had also thought of that, I'd be like, too basic.
Nah.
Too vague.
Too vague, we do need that.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, first up.
We have Ginger Minge serving, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. Did you love the Betty Grable hair?
No, I hated it. It was close up for me, Minger of the Week.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought I liked it from far out because it's just not a reference that's been done on Drag Race. But then when I saw it up close, I thought...
I wouldn't call it Betty Grable. I feel like it's more period. It's further back than that.
I mean, it's 100% Betty Grable.
But hers is more tighter. This was very bulky on the sides.
I think that's because it was badly done, honey.
Well, tell that to the wig maker. It gave me more kind of Queen of Hearts, kind of just ugly, kind of
wow,
almost Elizabethan-y, just grossness.
Oh wow, save some compliments for our wedding, honey. I gave it 6.
Yeah, same. She looks like a loo roll doily.
Yeah, very that. But I did quite always for me, I love a purple with a ginger hair, an auburn. That was the one.
Although I felt like that was a bit too. The lilac was too lilac, and then the red was. Am I allowed an opinion, or are you just going to talk through it? I felt like it didn't go with the sort of more dark burgundy red almost. It wasn't a true red, so I wasn't here for the colour combo.
Sure. And next up we have Eureka with Sheriff Lady Pimp.
Love a cowgirl moment, always.
And the really exag hat as well.
Loved it. 7.5 truffles. Oh, sorry, 8 truffles. I was looking at me wrong bit.
Okay, did you live for the organza scalloped trouser?
I just loved the whole thing. It was so stupid.
Yeah.
But then as I was loving it, I thought, is it similar to Ginger's weird legs the other day that you hated? But I thought, I don't care.
I love the legs. Do you not remember? I thought that the draping was mental.
Yeah, I didn't like them.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. So it was the royal eye.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no non-royal eye. Sure. I gave it 7 too.
I gave it 8.
Okay. And then next up we have Raja O'Hara in
Cinder. Oh, hell yeah.
satin loafer. You brought her, which I thought was a nice level up.
Definitely, I thought it was fun. I like the beat.
I know. Now that I'm a new Raja stan, I don't want to say bad things, but
it's just like so obvious. Just
Really?
like okay, like a pastel tiered dress and then just like soft waves. It's like that's like your season level. That's not All Stars level.
yeah, it felt a bit rushed. I just thought it was all a bit off, and the colours were a bit off for me as well. I didn't really think they were very complimentary together or on her. Or
Yeah, en general.
I gave it a 6.
I gave it a 7, but I feel like that's it's only because I didn't want to mark her lower than 7 because I like her now, but really it's probably like a 6.5.
You've got to be fair if we're going to go this hard on Pandora and Jan.
We don't know what to be fair.
And then next up we have Yara in the Tangerine Windmill.
So, did you clock the story of this?
I mean, tired is not even said.
I think somebody misunderstood the assignment and then had to grasp and grapple for a reason. I mean, I like the reason. I'm glad that she actually had something to tie it together. And I did like that the movement and I liked how the orange looked, but it was not frilly.
We've seen that hair sculpture before.
Yeah.
That exact hair sculpture she has worn on the runway. So it wasn't groundbreaking. It wasn't interesting. But I thought it was well done. It always, like, every single... I just think her looks are not for me. They're not... The style is not my style. And I gave it 7, though.
I gave it 6.
Okay. And then next up, we have Scarlet Envy serving House of Le Beige.
I always love nude and diamonds together. Always. It's my favourite. But I wish the diamond lips were like taupe stones or beige stones. Like I really hated the white lips. It made it look so like white foundation scene kid lips and really just like took me out of it completely.
I didn't even notice the hundreds and thousands lips until later on in Untucked. I didn't even notice. I was just so overwhelmed by the whole look. I think honestly she never misses. I know the lips probably weren't it, but they weren't even noticeable enough to me. And I loved this. The nude tool, I just thought it was gorgeous. Just thought she knows construction. She knows what colours suit her. She knows hair. I just thought it was gorgeous.
I thought the rest of the makeup was horrible as well. But I really, really loved nude and diamond. So I gave her 7 truffles. But she could have been more with a different face. You could have been more Scarlet.
I gave her 9.
Well, there you go.
Then next up we have Kylie in Iridescent Jellyfish Goddess.
Oh, just super cute. Pop princess as always.
Yeah, I just thought it was stunning. She is boldly asking the question, what if I made you fall in love with me and turned you on at the same time?
What if?
What
you
if?
have already. Stop doing it, please. I've got a life to get on with.
The draping and cutting of it all was so perfect, and it was big, but like it was cut in the right place to give her a waist and to give her a leg, and I just loved it.
I didn't really love the outfit. I liked the material of it. I like also add iridescent to that list of diamonds and nudes. Love the hair on her.
Yeah.
So I gave her 7.5.
I gave it 8. I just really liked it. It wasn't groundbreaking, but I loved it. Janet Sport.
Janet Street Horter.
Serving you Morgan McMichaels does Can Pearly Queen.
Literally that. Very Morgan hair, actually, wasn't it?
But do you remember Morgan in the Two of Hearts runway when she's got that teeny tiny top hat on and she's got that weird sort of gross pink does Can? Very pink does Can.
Very pink does Can.
Oh, aging.
Yeah, that's what I wrote. The hair was so aging and the colour palette was just so dull.
And also, can we point out that she had the audacity to say that was Moulin Rouge? Moulin Rouge.
I thought initially it was Salon Girl.
But that was
Saloon Girl.
old Western Can. France, it was not. Paris, la capitale de la mode. De la monde entière. Insupportable. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Like, that was not like... And then it just made me think, like, this is what happens when someone else designs your costume.
This bitch don't know shit.
Yeah, like, she was literally like, oh, yeah, like, it's giving me Moulin Rouge. It's like, no, it's not. Like, that is a Western Can, exactly like you said, saloon girl. So it's like, did you just tell someone to make this for you and be like, oh, I give it a bit of... It's like, you don't even know the reference of, like, the skirt, for example, is not French Can dancer. It's not like, the hat is not French Can dancer. It's like, nah.
Having said that, there was so much attention to detail and everything was really, really well put together, as often is with Jan, I think. So I gave her... I've written 7, but I can't fully believe that. So, because I don't like the hair and the colour palette. So I'll give her a 6.5, but I do think that the garment was well constructed and there was a lot of bits that are bits and bobs.
I gave her a 3.
Okay.
I really felt like the silence gave it more impact.
I really hate it, Cassie.
Just because, let me tell you, the hair,
He's going to tell us, gals.
the hat, absolutely disgusting. The hair, awful. The colour palette, terrible.
Rotted.
She didn't know she didn't know the reference. And also, as well, like, sure, it might have been well made, but she didn't make it. So, like, what are we scoring here? I
didn't know that whether they made it or not came into how it looks on the runway.
I don't think she even designed it because she didn't know her references. So, what real hand did she have in making it? You know, it just weren't for me. But let's move on. Let's move on to Pandora Box serving,
Lord Jesus, give us strength.
serving pastel doll baby. Baby, imagine.
Now, I don't know much about fashion, but I think if you're going to have frills around your waist, I really believe it should be cinched in, or you got to make them hips bigger because that's
What she should be
SpongeBob
worried
body.
about. Yeah, very Victor twins.
Yes.
What she should be worried about is them shoulders matching them hips. She really looked camp straight in the eye with this look, didn't she? I quite liked elements of it because later on I thought, oh, is it in the trans flag? Baby blue, pink and white.
Cute.
Thought
Well, yeah, I
maybe-
could really appreciate the chintz level and how tacky it was.
Perfect word.
So I actually gave it a 6.5. I almost enjoyed it.
I gave it a 6 if, imagine it was on a mannequin.
On a man.
On a mannequin. So like the presentation, was it Pandy that they were like, I'm writing a letter to Daddy. Yeah, I was like, that is literally all I see. Like sort of like an aging mid-level starlet coming down in a baby doll dress. But yeah, I gave it a 6.
Okay.
And I'm gonna challenge you next week. I want to hear one nice thing about Pandora Box.
I have been saying nice things
Oh, you
about
actually
her.
did give it, didn't you?
Yeah, I think you need to say something nice about Pandora and Jan next week.
Jan is an absolutely fantastic singer. She's one of the best.
I said next week, bitch. We've had enough of you today.
I literally will not. That's all I've got for you. Next
When I
up,
say TK, you say B. TK.
B. When in her the reckoning of Latrice Royale's Rent-A-Center couch look.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Mountains,
Classic TKB.
Mountains, it did not move, but drag excellence.
What did she call it? Something about salmon.
Yeah.
Like lovely sort of hot salmon.
I gave her an 8.
I gave her a 7.5. I was quite mesmerised by the fabric. I couldn't tell if it was like two-toned or two different colours. I think it was a bit of both.
Yeah.
So it's win-win.
Absolutely.
7.5.
Okay, brilliant. And then last but certainly not least, we have Akiria C. Davenport in her nasty bloom flower.
Nasty.
That's what she said. She was like,
all
oh,
right.
I'm giving you nasty flower.
I
was like,
loved it.
it was excellent. Next question.
Yeah.
It was a
Love
10.
the two like types of iridescent green on the corset.
Gorgeous.
Green and pink together always fucking rocks my world.
What would you say your favourite Drag Race green and pink look has been?
I can't. I'd have to seek all the pictures together. I can't off the top of my head.
Oh no, I'm actually I'm lying. I'm thinking of lilac and green.
Aquaria.
Yeah, in that hat. But pink and green is, you've got a lovely little latex pink and green number.
I do.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous on you. And also, as well, who could ever forget your gorgeous pink and green creepy satin and pink and green with the mullet. Gorgeous look. She's turned some looks in her time. We'll give her that.
It's been known. Yeah, the teeth as well. Just really
The
like,
chompers.
show us those
Chompers.
sparkling gnashes to finish it off. Loved it. 9 truffles.
I gave her 10. I thought it was
She
absolutely...
gave it 10, guys.
I thought it was...
That's a 10.
It was excellent. It was just excellent. So then, most importantly, I need to ask you, let's talk zinger, let's talk minger. What's your zinger of the week?
My zinger has probably got to be Kylie's again. I wasn't really mad about anyone's wig.
I did love, I again was like, there wasn't a crazy one that I absolutely loved, but I did really like Kylie's short little crimp. Just love to see different hair on her, and I love the colour of it. But I also loved Akira's stoned cap thing that she had the flower on.
I don't know if that counts as a wig.
I know, but did you see that I guess it was sort of like a hard front sculpted cap that she then stoned, and it had them little curly cues at the front with the hat on. I thought that's just a much nicer way than if she'd covered it up with flowers.
Or
which is what
done like a
people
little
done.
green bus driver or something.
Yeah, I thought it was super fucking cute. Let's talk minger, and I'm sure I don't even need to ask you what this is going to be.
Well, yeah, I was going to say gingers, just so unflattering and gross, but in the end I had to go with Jan's just matronly
I put most basic little whorehouse in Texas wig. Like, literally, what the fuck was it? It was like, as soon as she came out, I was like, that is Morgan McMichaels. Obviously, we'll have to put a picture up side by side of Morgan McMichaels in that weird, short little circus freak
It's
wig.
tough with Jan, isn't it? Because she either does like real girl hair, which is just like flat and like not really giving you the jantasy, or she goes for like really like overly sculpted and styled wigs that just either seem like they're Disney wigs or like sort of stage costumes rather than just like a hot woman going about the business.
I think my qualms, totally agree with you, totally. I think my qualms with Jan is that for me, her drag lacks, and this is two things that A, you can't buy and she's really never going to be able to change, is it really lacks style and coolness. Like nothing she does is ever, quite often she, the sort of like matronly element. When you're young and serving matronly element, it's like, she keeps on going on about how she's like serving fashion, but it's like, it's not style. You can serve fashion without serving a lick of style. Do you know what I mean? And someone like, if you look at someone like if you look at someone like Gigi Good, she serves fashion, but she's so stylish that she's always picking the right hair with it. She's always picking the right accessories to either modernize it or to just really hit the nail on the head. Whereas like, she's just...
Yeah, she can make like a bikini top and a mini skirt look amazing.
Yeah, well, I just think about like, for example, her little ice cream look. She was in like, she served so many period looks. She served Heathers. She served that ice cream little like suit. She served the 80s prom like suit dress. So many of them were like lifted from what should be quite aging, but she always knows how to bring it, to modernize it and make it super cutesy with the right hair or the right makeup or something. And that's what you lack from Jan. She lacks actual style.
I wish Gigi was on this series.
Oh my God, I would die if they brought Gigi back. I'm just going to have her as one of my own. I'd die. Just for the fashiones. And now she's got money as well. And can I point out that not only has she, I'm sure I've said this on the pod before, not only has she never worn a wig that she hasn't styled herself, neither has
Simone.
Simone does all of Simone's. I don't know that she's never worn a wig.
Well, I'm sure
she to this day does all of Simone's hair.
Even like the BAP stuff and like her opening look with the bamboos.
Yeah, she did all of it.
Yes, bitch.
Isn't that so sick? And
does she want to come and work for us?
Yeah. Simone, let us know if you're looking for an internship where we can teach you basically nothing. But yeah, very hilarious that always in agreement about the singers and the mingers.
So, should we move on to the critiques?
Please.
So, this week, safe gals are Raja, Scarlett, Kylie, and Pandora.
Yeah.
Now, according to my truffle calculations,
Love these.
My bottom two were Ginger and Yara, and my top two, I mean, it's almost obvious, isn't it, were Kylie and TKB.
Yeah.
Down to my two scorings. So, I am not really agreeing with the safe gals as usual.
I think this was just like, maybe Jan is going home soon, and I think that they just wanted, as part of for a number, they wanted to give this story. I think they thought they were all very good, everyone was at a high level, and it would like function the show best to give her this storyline of like, oh yeah, you didn't win the Madonna, but like look at you performing now and you're being arrogant, and it's like, and then she'll go home.
Did you see Kylie's face when she was in the safe lot?
No.
It's just really kind of like, wow, these bitches are sleeping on me, aren't they? Safe every week when she's done so well.
I mean, ditto Scarlett, ditto TKB.
Well, I didn't think Scarlett did very well this week.
Sure, but she has her runways and stuff. She's never, a lot of them, but that's what makes a fucking good show when you're like, these are all getting stepped on, these are all getting stepped on. It's like, there's a lot of talent bubbling underneath.
Yeah. So after a bit of chit-chat, we find out that the Jantasy has finally been realised. Janet is the top all-star of the week. And the bottom queens are Yara Sophia and Akira C. Davenport. Again, not my Kiri.
It was really telling, this point, wasn't it? Because Akira, straight out the gate, she's like, I'm here to fight. I need to be here. And she was showing so much grit. And Yara was just like, arrogant.
It's so weird that Yara thinks it's fake to plead your case. Like, why is that fake? Like, only if you're going to lie.
It's really fucking immature as well. Like, if you are really so insecure, because it's such a backhanded thing that it's like, if you can't stand in front of your sisters and your colleagues, as TKP always calls them, your co-workers.
Workplace associates.
Yeah. And say, like, I'm desperate to be here. then really you're actually too insecure to do that. So like you don't actually think you're too good to do it. You're too insecure to do it. So it's like it's a very weird sort of power play.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really didn't like it from her. What about when Jan was like, Akira always has the best attitude, and that's really what you care about with people you work with, don't you? Especially in like performing.
Yeah. Backstage lols rather than stress and ag.
Yeah, she's always got a good attitude. I'd be like, that would have won it for me.
Yeah, and she said that Akira's drag excellence. And
would you have an ego when it came down to this?
in what way?
Like if they were saying, right, you're in the bottom with Akira, and you saw Akira go over and just be like, burst into tears and be like, I need to be here, I have to be here. Would you be able to do that on TV?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd cry, but I wouldn't.
She ain't a crier, folks.
No. Us women have spent too long being told we're emotional. I've got to keep it in to be mask. No, I think I would just, I think I would just plead my case.
Yeah.
There's no point not.
But you wouldn't feel an inch of what Zara does. Like,
I don't think so.
that it would be
It's like,
embarrassing.
I've spent all this fucking money to get all this
Exactly.
shit to come here.
And also, I want to fucking win. If I don't want to win that much, then I shouldn't be here. Do you know what I mean? Like, who is it? That's happened before in maybe All Stars or something, where they're like, they want it more than me.
But like TKB has said a few times now, it's like being in the bottom doesn't like define you as a performer or something.
No,
Like you
not
shouldn't
at
like be
all.
like, oh, my life is ruined. It's like, I'm with all my gals, we're having a competition, someone's going to win, there's going to be ups and downs, but it should just be kind of like a fun summer camp with a couple of 10 grands thrown in here and there.
And also, it's a fucking TV show. It's like, look at Violet. Violet won, yeah? Violet is not a good singer. She's not a good comedian. She's not a good actress. But like, what she does bring is at such a professional elite level that just supersedes everything. Do you know what I mean? It's like, sure, maybe this competition, maybe this challenge, you weren't great at this particular skill, but you might be the best motherfucking lip syncer in America. So whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Don't let it bother you. What about the way that Eureka was talking about Zara in front of her? She,
Oh, I love that.
so good, wasn't it? That really made me love her. Just like, oh, like, what did they say? And she was like, oh, they just didn't like the look or the face. You know, it was just everything we saw too, really.
Well, yeah,
It's
because
like, she's
Yara's
right
not
there.
going to come forward with that information. Like, and we need to be able to vote. We were backstage.
Yeah, but the fact that she was like, you know, just like everything that we saw as well. It was like, oh, okay, bitch. It was like, not only does the judging think you're shit, we also thought it.
But like in a room full of performers to not be able to perform, that's a bit whack.
mean, yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. And then Zara was just like, yeah, I kind of was shit. Like I was like, I looked good, but like, yeah, like I didn't really perform. It's like, I was literally with Raja just being like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you just literally just going to sit there and be like, yeah, I'm not going to fight for it. And, but then also you could tell that she was so fucking angry.
And weird that earlier on, excuse me, she was like, before I started impersonating Shakira as an act, like I was too scared that I wasn't doing a good enough job of her, that I wouldn't be able to do it on stage. And it's like, so now you're doing it on a world stage and you're not even going to try and do a good job.
And you didn't even enjoy it.
Yeah.
Mental. What about when Jan said, and this is a direct quote, I'm going against my heart, but it's the best decision for the long haul.
What does that mean?
Pussy-hole, that's what it means. Like, that sounds like I'm glad she had absolutely no chance of winning, really, against anyone.
So surely that means that Yara has won a thing and Akira hasn't. So technically Yara should be saved, but she thinks Akira is a better queen, so she's going to save Akira.
And she also said, I'm going against my heart. And I don't think she would have said that with Zara, so I think she voted Akira.
Interessante.
But I mean, we have been wrong before and we will be
have
wrong
been,
again.
Yeah.
So then we head into the lip sync and it is revealed that the assassin is Miss Jessica Wilde.
Jessica, relation to Maggie Wilde.
Yes, I'm glad to see her, but odd, no?
I don't think so. I think
Surprising.
I wasn't surprised. I mean, they're always quite a surprise, the assassins, and I like that they're bringing a lot older ones
Yeah.
back so
same,
that like the
same.
newer viewers can get to know them. She's a fun time girl, isn't she?
Same, but they're really stacking up queens as well that wouldn't come back. Because not only do they have to be...
Well, didn't her and Yara weren't they together in All Stars 1?
No, that was Alexis.
Shit, yes.
But they're stacking up, first of all, a list of queens that are like, I don't want to be associated with the show anymore. Like, a lot of queens that are like, nah, I wouldn't come back. But also, they have to also be lip syncers. And a lot of the queens are not lip syncers. You wouldn't bring Bianca back to be a lip sync assassin. You wouldn't bring Violet back to be a lip... There's so many queens, it's just like, that ain't in their wheelhouse. So we are maybe going to see some more people that are just fucking great performers that maybe weren't even that great on their season.
Yeah, and that's much more interesting
Love
to me
to
than
see
just
it.
to see the same old ones carted out again.
The chicken head I was very confused by.
When they do
The barnyard.
yeah,
But wasn't she a rooster?
rooster
Wasn't
chicken.
she like red, though?
I'm sure she knows the reference more than we do.
Yeah, sure. I really hate the change into the bar outfit that people do. Cracker does it a lot. Jan
Yeah.
did it. It really takes me out of like the high stakes of it. Do you know what I mean?
But then at the same time, like if you're in a gown, you need to be in something that you can be kicking and splitting in.
What worried her look would be too aging, too matronly for this number.
Maybe.
I can't believe we were cheated out of a Jessica Wilde versus TKB Womanizer.
That would be
lip
great.
sync.
Thoughts on Jan's glitch?
Oh, for God's sake.
I don't want comedy with my Britney. I want blonde hair whipping. I want red thigh-high boots.
I literally... Ditto, repeat, rinse, repeat. As soon as she started her hip rocking and yas clicking, I was like, she does not have the range for this sizzling, up-tempo commentary on misogyny and the disposability of women in the male gaze. Like, she does not have it in her. Like, this is not for you and your little friends at the bar. This is Ms. Britney Jean Spears.
Free Britney!
It was... As soon as she started, I was like, Womanizer, like, it's up-tempo, it's sexy, it's like, you've got all of the instrumentation, like the percussion, the
Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat on the drum.
you've got highs, you've got lows, and just like her, straight away, just doing her sort of, she's bopping about, like...
No, bitch, this is Britney Jean Spears. You put some motherfucking
Fire
respect.
Island bullshit, like, not even Fire Island, that's Hell's Kitchen bullshit, do you know what I mean? Just sort of like, little white gay bopping around. It was just, yeah, it weren't it.
No.
And I just don't, I personally, for someone that has more than 5 times maybe on this very show been like, I'm a great dancer. Where?
So rock it.
So rocket. We need that as a sound as well.
You know when someone's bestie is brought on, it's for the one job of taking them home to help them pack.
Are they getting a sort of like twofer on the plane tickets or something? Just being like,
Well, Jessica, is she a Vegas gal as well?
oh no, I forgot. What, that's almost borderline racist of me. To be like,
Mucho escándalo.
oh, I love that as her little sign off. I had no idea that she was going to turn it motherfucking out like that as well. But she brings that PR heat.
At one point, she was literally just like on her knees, head banging.
Yeah,
like,
I mean-
yes, bitch.
She
She should join the rock opera.
the rocker. She's a handsome woman.
She is.
She is a handsome woman. She's very, very, very strong.
There's room for
face.
everybody.
She looks like the head from Art Attack in a good wig.
a good wig, in a wig.
It was like a gay West Side Story. The boring Yanks against the Latin sexuality.
Yeah, very that.
Very that. I didn't even look at Jan once, apart from when she was doing her weird robot thing just to roll my eyes.
Yeah.
And
And that you weren't even looking either. Then you were looking
No,
up.
the whole time I was just staring at Yethica.
So great.
Absolute lover. Can I tell you when I truly clocked out from Jan's lukewarm performance?
Yeah.
That dusty dip. When she gave you that dip, like that is like
Weeks of desperation.
that's what the Republicans think the gay agenda looks like. Like a white gay in a wig doing a dip like that. Like being like, yes, clicking, and then, but obviously he would call it a death drop.
Sure.
And yeah, it was just, and her weird Patti LuPone spooky acting,
Yeah, no.
like very Max as
Sharon.
oh, Sharon. Yeah, it was just, I don't get it. I don't like it.
You'd think it would be right in her wheelhouse to give you like pop princess.
But she's not a dancer. Ergo, not a performer.
Well, there you go.
Vis-a-vis, not for me. Yeah, it was just not for me, and I just didn't. That happens very rarely on Drag Race, and I'm just like, I just don't really like anything that they're serving.
I don't like it.
No. But luckily, Jessica Wilde, the winner.
Yeah.
But did you notice how angry Jan looked at the end?
Yeah,
When she was
'cause
standing there.
I feel like if you win the challenge and then you don't win the lip sync, it's kind of a bit tarnished, isn't it?
Yeah.
You haven't got like the full
But fix
episode.
your mug, you are not the same. You know? What about when it flicked to Raja when they were like, and it will roll over to 20k, and Raja was like, okay, got my eye on that.
30k?
No, it's 20k.
I thought it was 30.
No,
Oh.
because last week, Thingy won. Raja against Brooklyn.
Shush. No, that she didn't win, but she got
They both drew. They drew, but she got the money.
Yeah.
But yeah, Raja was like, thank you for keeping that money for me. I'll see you next week.
I couldn't work out if Yara's fuck yous were real or not.
Well, they certainly put it in the edit with that. And Michelle.
But she's such a bloody Fruit Loop, sure, that you can never really tell.
I thought you could tell the attitude from you can always tell by how whether they thank Rue or not, because that's a tried and tested thing that most people do, like regardless of whether you love Rue or not, but like most people at the end are like, thank you so much for this opportunity,
it's just common manners, isn't it?
You've brought me back. Or even just to thank the girls, even if you don't like Rue, just be like, I've had the best time here, just something that's like, I didn't want to go home, but I also am not going to let it overshadow.
Maybe she would think that's fake as well.
I mean, whatever. I just thought I knew that was going to happen. I knew that if she went, that she was going to do something shitty on the way out. And she didn't she was like waving at the girls, but then she said, fuck you. And then she just like walked off. And then did you hear Eureka go, is that all she's going to say or something? It was just, the whole thing stunk. And then also when she was like, oh, come back. And she like pretended to run out as if like, no, I don't even want to come back.
But that's what I mean. Like her doing that made me feel like, well, was the whole thing a joke?
But then she should be conscious enough that it doesn't read well.
She's not conscious.
She is not. She is barely conscious.
When are they going to give us this fucking game within a game? I'm going to flip the table next time they don't tell us. I need to know now. I want it now.
I had a little thought. What if something about the game within a game involves the lip sync assassins that they've brought back? Because there's been some weird choices. So I thought, what if it needs to be queens that could be available for the show? What if something happens, it's like, oh, this person won a lip sync, like the lip sync assassin. Imagine if they're like, oh, Brooklyn won against blah, blah, so we're bringing these back to fight.
Brooklyn versus Jiggly or something.
Yeah, if it was like, that was like I don't know, but it's honestly giving me fucking heart palps over here.
Same.
But very, very exciting.
What about your Rose and Thorn?
Oh, okay. So my Rose was actually really thinking about it. Like, I just love that they bring queens out like Jessica rather than like wheeling Shanji out for a fifth swan song. Like, just love that. I was like, it was a surprise who they brought out.
Yeah.
But can I be honest with you?
I wish you would.
From that silhouette, I think next week, I think it is the Duchess.
Oh, you heard it here first, gals.
Just because
AKA Alyssa Edwards.
There was a hand on hip, there was a leg outstretched, and I thought no one stands like that apart from the Duchess.
I never see it because Netflix always puts its bloody agenda on.
But I will fucking die. Although, do you remember when she came against Evie?
Yeah, she wasn't that great.
She wasn't bad, but she didn't rock it like I thought she would. But maybe.
Wait, it can't have been against Evie because Evie would also have been an assassin.
Oh yeah, of course. She did it against. Hold that thought. I'm going to find out while you tell them your Rose.
My Rose was the production value on TKB's performance. I really felt like I was seeing some fucking shit here in a good way. My Thorn this week was Scarlett's makeup, the whole episode. I just hated it. Like, love you normally, especially your makeup, but just wasn't for me.
Oh, against Shay.
Shut up.
Shady
Come
Lady, you know I'm a star.
Oh, what was the song? Was it I'm just running doing the neutron dance? Yeah, it was.
Do you remember they both walked to the back at the same time?
Yeah, Neutron Dance.
Who is that by?
Pointer Sisters.
Pointer Sisters. Yeah. And she had that like weird like tassely jacket on.
Yeah. Woo-hoo.
Yeah. And
that is a high tempo, fancy footwork.
I know, but you can't go against Shay.
You can't.
I wouldn't. My Thorn was, I had two. First of all, it was like TKB not getting her deserved win. I thought that was like undeniable. Like she should have won. It just blew my mind that she didn't. And my other Thorn was Jada's attitude.
Yeah.
Not here for it.
No.
At all. Wow. But let's head on to Le Dreamcast.
Okie dokie.
I know this is probably a bit basic and very topical for us at the moment, but my Dreamcast is Willem. Has there ever been a higher requested queen, more beautiful, more TV gold, more comedy than Willem?
No.
I would be so happy if... This is like a gay, what do they call it in the football that they all pick their favourite team? Fantasy football.
Yeah.
This is like our gay fantasy, our queer fantasy football.
Fantasy.
We'd be drafting. I would literally scream if they announced Willem.
I was going to say Willem the other week and then I thought, I know she's definitely not going to be on, so I didn't know didn't know that was going to be a wasted vote. But in that case, I'll do Pearl next week.
Oh, well, obviously there's all the beef that she's spoken about with World of Wonder. But did you know that her studio in LA is opposite the World of Wonder studios?
Hopefully she's just
across the
flashing
road.
her arsehole at them all the time.
Yeah, so she must always see them out on a little smoke break or something. But you know that there's just absolutely no fucking chance. Although I just wish they'd give in, because the audience, the Drag Race fandom would go fucking insane.
Yeah, one of the finest exports they have had.
Yeah, if not the. Hit me.
For my Dreamcast this week, I'm going to go with the insatiable Do Not Come For Her, Miss Kimberly Chi from season 8. Obviously, you got the looks, but I just love her as a person too. Would love to see her back. And then I had a brainwave. Imagine if, to reboot season 1, they bring in teams of best friends. So you could have like Gigi and Simone versus Kim and Naomi versus Katia and Trixie, Bob and Monet, Adore and Bianca, Willem and Alaska. Imagine just all these fucking twosomes getting at
Jinx
it.
and Bendela.
Yep. All of them. So sick.
Raja and Delta.
Yep.
Oh my, Raja and Raven.
Yep.
Oh my God. Oh, please.
This is the future that we need.
Yeah, please. World of Wonder, if you're listening, we're going to need a cut.
Yeah.
Fantastic idea. Yeah, I'd absolutely love that. And also I would literally die to see Kimberly.
Love her.
Yeah. And then next week, you may not have seen this, actually, if it cut you out before next week. But on the sneak peek of next week, Akira announced that she actually did for a while live as a trans woman.
Wait a damn minute.
I had no idea.
I had absolutely no idea. I can't believe that that's never come out before. I've never seen it, up on the blogs.
You never really... Well, I don't. I've quite a shallow life. Is that what you say? I
mean, you're definitely shallow.
But I don't have that much knowledge of people's experience who have lived...
Detransitioned.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And then realised it wasn't actually for them.
I don't actually personally know a single person that has detrans. Oh no, that's a lie. I do. But I mean, it's. I think it's rarely spoken about because there's such a fight for trans.
Sure, you don't want people to think, oh, you're just a bunch of flip-floppers, aren't you?
Well, exactly, and it's a very small amount. And also but as gender becomes much more fluid, I think as well, like there are people, like at what point is a transition, like they're not saying they fully transition, they might not have even been on medication, but they were just living in the thought that they might be identifying as a woman. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's very nuanced, and unfortunately the critical thinking of a lot of these people that have such a problem with it doesn't extend that far to understand gender identity.
I think for them, Got Mick was enough of a mind melter.
Yeah, and now Kylie Sonique Love just giving you like gender fuckery at its finest.
Thank you.
But UK Drag Race, let's just keep our ears to the ground, because maybe a real earthshaker be coming with UK Drag Race. But also, maybe another second earthshaker, because word is on the street. Can we say this?
I don't know. I don't know what you're going to say.
Women being rushed.
Well, they said it on Race Chaser, so I don't see why not.
Oh, that's where you got it. Oh, I thought one of the girls had told you. Oh, fantastic. Well, I mean, tell the girls.
Well, just Willem was saying that, because obviously, well, if you don't know, Willem's here doing her final week on the West End and Death Drop, and just saying that apparently Rue had to film another series of something straight after our UK season 3. So they basically filmed an episode a day. Normally it's 2, sometimes 3 days per episode. So they were really churning them through it. Apparently there were injuries because people didn't have enough time to warm up before dance things.
Imagine the dry shaving that you'd have had to be doing as well. Just like literally just like going against the grain every single day. Oh.
And the mental health kind of person who works with all the gals who are on it said that they won't be working on the show anymore after how it was run this year. It was like against like all sort of BBC standards and stuff.
Well, let's just hope that maybe that some of that is let's hope for the girls' sake. I don't care about
that they're just showing off and
that it's that it's just maybe a bit more hearsay. I don't know, that it's like maybe a bit exaggerated. I don't know. I just hope for the girls that like that's fucking dog shit, and just proof that like once you get a TV show that's working and you're like, right, let's do Spain, let's do Thailand, let's do all of these different exports. Like if you don't have time for it, then you don't have time to be hosting it.
Yeah,
like you need to really like, I don't know, I don't want to get too far into that, but that ain't it at all. And especially the UK Queens, after a season that was such a fucking jewel in the crown, to not give the next season of UK that equal respect.
Yeah,
fuck that. But what a fucking great episode.
Indeed.
Sorry, lots of swearing today. I'm getting very impassioned.
Fuck it.
Very impassioned, but great episode, gals. Thanks for joining us.
Please remember to subscribe, to rate, and to leave a review.
Luke is actually sitting here with a mini xylophone. He's, really tinging away.
Bum, 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 bum.
And yeah, please do all of that because it helps us. It helps you girls grow. That's what they say on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It just helps me grow.
Help us help you.
Yeah. Tell a friend. Send it to a friend. Be like, oh my God, if you've never heard people scream and shout for an hour and a half every single week, then you're missing out. But love you, girls. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.